Multipage misfeed. The greedy printer. Think of a multipage misfeed like a deck of playing cards that has become sticky. When you try to deal just one card from the top of the deck, 3 or 4 others slide along with it. In your printer, the machine is only supposed to grab one single sheet of paper, but instead, it sucks in a whole clump at once. This usually causes the printer to stop immediately with a clear jam error because it can't fit that much paper through its internal pipes. The worn-out separation pad. The most common cause of this problem is a small, rectangular piece of rubber or cork called the separation pad. This pad sits right underneath the paper stack, directly opposite the rollers that pull the paper in. Its only job is to provide a little bit of friction to hold back the rest of the pile while the top sheet moves forward. Over time, this pad gets worn down until it is as smooth as glass. When it loses its roughness, it can no longer hold the other sheets back. The printer becomes greedy and pulls in everything it touches. To fix this, a technician usually has to replace this small pad with a new, grippy one. Humidity and sticky paper. Sometimes the printer is working perfectly, but the paper itself is the problem. Paper is made of wood fibers, which act like a sponge for moisture in the air. If you live in a humid place, or if the paper was stored in a damp basement, the sheets will physically swell and stick to one another. When the printer tries to lift the top sheet, the moisture creates a sort of suction that brings the next few sheets along for the ride. A quick fix is to take the paper out of the tray and fan it, which means flipping through the edges like a deck of cards, to let some air get between the sheets and break that moisture bond. Static electricity. In very dry offices, especially during the winter when the heater is running, you run into the opposite problem: static electricity. This is the same force that makes a balloon stick to your hair. The sheets of paper become charged and cling to each other with a very strong invisible pull. Just like with damp paper, fanning the pages can help, but in very dry environments, technicians sometimes use a deionizer or simply suggest keeping the paper in a more climate-controlled room. Incorrect paper settings. Every printer has a brain that needs to know how thick the paper is. If you are using very thin, cheap paper, but the printer is set to heavyweight or cardstock, the machine might apply too much pressure or move the rollers in a way that grabs multiple sheets. Ensuring that the settings in your print menu match the actual type of paper in the tray can help the printer use the right amount of touch to grab just one page at a time. Worn-down feed rollers. While we usually blame the separation pad for letting too many sheets through, the feed rollers can also contribute. If these rollers have become uneven or have developed flat spots, from years of use, they might push down too hard on the stack. Instead of a light pinch on the top sheet, they create a heavy shove that forces a clump of paper into the machine. Cleaning these rollers with a damp cloth can help, but if they are physically misshapen, they will need to be replaced.